Okay, so in this video I am going to show you how to eliminate a switched outlet. So this outlet is upside down, which designates it a switched outlet, this side being the switched side, the other side being live. And this customer does not like that. He doesn't want any switched outlets in the house. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you how to get rid of it. So the wire will stay intact, but we're just not going to use it. And then on the other end, we won't have the switch. We'll just put a blank in its place. So first, I'm going to get all these disconnected. Okay. So this red wire is the switched wire coming from the light switch to turn that half of the outlet on. I'm just going to put a little cap on it. Make sure that's nice and snug. I'll run this guy around. Kind of just fold it up, shove it on in the back. Never to be seen again. Alright, now that the outlet's not going to be upside down anymore, we can get these back to their regular left and right configuration. We can also go ahead and get these bent up, since plugging into the outlet with the wire in the back is not a good idea. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and use these nice square-faced outlets from Legrand. Come on, you fucker. There we go. Be sure when you're putting the wires on the screws to always have them following the clockwise tightening pattern. That way the wire stays with it. Oftentimes I'll see people put them on like this and then the screw turns against it and it kind of shoves the wire out, and although it still grabs it, it ends up being kind of loose, and it's just a point that creates problems down the road when the wire gets a little loose and starts making an intermittent connection. Or straight falls off. So many places where their outlets just don't work, or one outlet works and a bunch down the line don't work, and then you find out that it was 4 outlets ahead of it that had a bad connection on one screw, and it killed all the outlets down line from it. Alright, so there's that guy, keeping the ground wire nice and safely out of the way. Get it snugged in. Remember never to over tighten them. You want to be able to move just a little tiny bit so that you can make adjustments when you put the faceplate on, and the faceplate will keep it nice and tight and straight. So there is that guy. Now over to the switches. So since we're eliminating a switch, which in this case, these two are for the fan, this one was for the outlet. So this house was set up so that when you walked into this room, you would hit the light switch to turn your lamp on first, and then you had control over the light and fan after that. So, pull that guy out, those are the ones we're keeping, and this guy out. So I'm gonna move these other outlet, or switches rather, over to closer to the door, since we're getting rid of this, and then we're going to put our blank on that side. So let's give these a snip. Now you could unravel this hot wire and take it out of this bundle over here, but just in case somebody down the road wants to reattach the circuit, I'm going to go ahead and leave it and just keep them tucked in. Where are the smaller wire nuts when you need them? Okay, so I'll throw one on the red wire, even though it doesn't go anywhere, but just to make sure, because you never know if somebody might change out an outlet down the road and hook that red wire back up by mistake, especially if they hook it up incorrectly. And we'll just tuck that guy back in there. I'll pull these off. Okay. Now, these switches from Legrand are pretty cool because they have clamps on them. They have the ability to plug wires right into the back, which we don't want to do. But they have these nice clamps so that you don't have to actually bend the wires around themselves. They just kind of tuck in, and then this clamps down on it, which gives a nice bite that doesn't come loose. When you're doing basic 2-wire switches like this, it does not matter where the wire goes. Whether it be the line or the load side, makes no difference because the switch is just connecting the two. When you're doing switches, you want them to be snug, but definitely loose because you got to get them to line up with the faceplate after the fact. And if they're really tight, you won't be able to do that. You'll be kind of fighting them, trying to twist and turn them to get them to line up perfectly straight with one another and keep the spacing to match the cover plate. So, so there we go. Now when you walk in the room, light, fan. Now for that third spot, they make these little covers. These are pretty cool because they are the same size as an outlet. They come in different colors, they come in different sizes. If you're using square switches like this, you can get them in that size, or you can get really small versions for the regular old flip paddle type switches. So this guy would just go on there, and then you would get a regular 3-switch cover plate, throw it on there, and this is now just a blank. And that's how to eliminate a switched outlet. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please like and subscribe.